Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a few weeks, I know, but my wife's birthday was the week before Independence Day, so I took a few weeks off for celebrations of both events. I plan on making 2 or 3 different videos to make up for the lost time, starting with this one. Thank you all for being so patient, I really appreciate it. Also, I won't be making a video on the Shin Megami Tensei 5 gameplay trailer, because I didn't see too much that caught my eye in that trailer. Honestly, the reveal trailer from a year or so ago did more to get me hyped up for it. I'm still going to buy and play Shin Megami Tensei 5 because it's Shin Megami Tensei 5, of course. So look forward to a first impressions video and a full review of that in the future. One last thing before we start, videos and streams might be few and far between as my son's due date draws closer for preparation reasons, so I apologize in advance. Things will eventually normalize and I'll be able to get back into a normal upload schedule once we settle back in. For the time being, uploads will be few and far between, and I might do a few off my phone as well, covering some of the older titles for things like NES, SNES, Game Boy, and of course PSP. I think that's all for announcements, so let's finally look at Shin Megami Tensei Imagine. Full disclaimer, the version I'm looking at is the reimagined private server, so some things may differ from the actual game. Also, bear in mind that this is really the definitive private server to choose if you plan on playing this game after watching. Let's begin. SMT Imagine was released on April 4th, 2007 in Japan and on December 31st, 2008 in the West, and was well received in Japan during its run with 100,000 players in just under a month, 80,000 of those signing up for a closed beta test before release. The game would last in the West until 2014 because Marvelous Studios, who handled the game's upkeep and localization, closed its doors on its PC department, and in Japan until 2016 due to its developers worrying about being unable to deliver a quality experience for its player base at that time. The game itself takes place in a post-apocalyptic version of Tokyo, between the events of SMT 1 and 2, and is divided up into 3 chapters and 3 extra chapters, with acts 1 through 20 of the main game taking place in the 3 main chapters and Chain of Curse having 11 of its own dedicated acts. So far, I've played up to Chapter 1 Act 7 and I've enjoyed what I've played. As for gameplay, if you've played older versions of World of Warcraft, Terra, or anything of that variety, the gameplay doesn't vary too much from that in forms of combat or movement, but that was popular for the time. To move, you can click on the ground in front of you, you can use WASD or the arrow keys, and Q and E to control the camera. And for combat, you click the target and use the number keys or click the corresponding skill to initiate and carry through combat. Cut, dry, and really simple. The SMT uniqueness comes through in mechanics like demon fusion, summoning, and managing your alignments. Fusing demons and managing your alignment go hand in hand, like almost all SMT games. To fuse certain demons, you have to be aligned with either Law or Chaos. Neutral demons can be summoned by either. So if there's a particular late game demon you're after, I'd pay really close attention to what alignment you are and make choices accordingly. Otherwise, you're not getting it. Demon fusion works about the same as the other games as well. Really simple 1 + 1 = 2 formula, or 1 + 1 + 1 = 3 for stronger demons. Summoning is one of my favorite little bits of this game because it's just really funny. Okay, you can only have one demon at a time, and it carries the title "Used Like a Slave" by insert character name here, until you bribe the demon with a particular loaf of bread attributed to its race. I cackled like a Jack Frost the first time I saw this shit. I about died. Once you feed your demon enough of this bread, its title goes from "Used Like a Slave" to contracted to insert character name here. I'm sure this was done to leave some room for progression of titles of sorts, but in an SMT game, demons don't really last that long, so I can only assume it just stays at contracted to. When summoned and in combat, your demon gets a separate skill list above yours in the F1 to F10 category, and can attack on will as well. This bit about demon summoning I found pretty fucking cool as well. Not only does your demon follow you around, which I figured would be necessary in-game because it's not turn-based, but if you press the tab key, you can assume control of your summoned demon and can move about the map independently of your created character. You can't go too far, otherwise the fixed camera can't really see you, but still a really cool fucking novelty, no less. And I haven't quite tested it out, but if the game lets you control your demon, I'm pretty sure that you can take your demon into combat without your player character around. Now, a real deal breaker when I pick an MMO to play, and why I quit quite a few of them, how the community is. Let me preface this by saying that I don't interact online with many people. Same offline, I don't interact with more people than I have to. But the community on the private server was very, very helpful and welcoming. The first person I spoke to had given me a few pointers and even a set of armor to help keep me going in game. And when I tried to offer some kind of compensation, he turned me down. I mean, part of that's probably because I was really low level. I mean, I'm still really low level, but nobody wants, level 5 trash in their inventory when they're like level 30. Okay, there are 2 minor gripes, but both of these are out of my control. One of which is because it's a dated MMO, there's a lot of walking. I mean, a lot. Once or twice in the span of a few moments, like you probably saw in the gameplay footage, a creature will get a wild hair across its ass to come fight me, but other than that, it's endless walking simulator. I guess there's a lot of walk time to account for people sending messages in chat or something, carrying conversation, but when nobody else is on, that can be a flat drag. So, out of my control. I mean, I can take it or leave it at that point. And because manpower on a free project is really slim unless you have the passion, the game isn't entirely translated into English. It's not a big problem. I mean, I run through the wiki all the time anyway, and that helps me keep well on track with my progression of the game, but I mean, I wish I knew Japanese for some of the stuff that I just can't really understand. And an MMO that sized, I'm pretty well happy with the progress that they've made on it. I mean, good lord, that is a lot of code to sift through and sit there and try to translate from Japanese to English as well. But I don't really play MMOs like that as much anyway, so, I mean, I walk into it knowing exactly what I'm getting into. It's not that big of a deal. Also, this game being an MMO, it's more fun with friends, so if you have friends that enjoy the traditional MMO style, I think you'll have a blast with it. I have to say, I never thought I'd be reviewing an MMO on YouTube, period. But I'm glad it was this one. I can say I really had a blast with this MMO and hope that more people will hop on the private server to experience it for themselves. That being said, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and a subscription, and head on down to my social media and drop likes and follows down there as well. Links in the description below. You doing that really helps out. If you disliked it, hit that thumbs down and leave a comment telling me what I could do to improve my content. Any suggestion is helpful as long as it's, constructive. Either way, please leave a comment and tell me if you enjoy the game or not. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I will see you guys later.